Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaiah, and in this video we're going to go over what we've done this week. It was another great week of trading. We make money when the market goes down. We make it when it goes up. As you can see, the market is running back up. The account is closing in on that 50K mark. Like I said, by the end of the year, the goal is to have it at 75K through premiums and some dividends. So, without further ado, let's look at our trade history. We have collected $633 this week, which I'm going to show you on our Excel file so it's easier to read. But I like showing the trade history just for full transparency. As you can see, we have $150 or so to hit the dividend account tonight. That SoFi put $9 expires worthless. What does that mean when you sell a put? When you sell a put, you're agreeing to buy a stock for a predetermined price. So I agreed to buy SoFi for $9, and I sold 2 contracts at it. Well, at expiration, the price was $12.70. That's well above the price I agreed to buy it for. So the contract expires worthless because the market's not going to let me buy the stock for $9 when it's currently trading at $12.70. So it expires worthless. You capture a credit right when you open a position. When you sell a put, you capture a credit. So I captured my credits with those $9 SoFi puts, and in exchange, the market holds collateral. Collateral is the amount the market holds in value, equating to how much your cash secured put is for. So the $9 strike, that means I'm agreeing to buy SoFi for $9. Every option contract is 100 shares, so 100 times 9 is $900. I had 2 contracts. That's $1,800 the market holds in collateral, so I'll get my $1,800 back as my collateral to use next week. And don't forget, like I said, I captured a credit when I opened these positions. So let's scroll back down. You can see we sold some covered calls, sold a new put this week, ASPN. I've never played that stock before, so excited to learn more about it, and maybe it becomes one of my full-timers where I roll and roll and roll. We'll see. Did roll a couple covered calls and rolled some cash-secured puts. Going through this kind of quick, just kind of so you can see in our trade history what all we've done from the 28th through today. And don't forget, I did buy 100 shares of ULTY. That's a dividend-paying stock. I bought another 100 shares at $5.89. So now I've bought 200 shares under $6, which leads me to selling a $6 covered call on 2 contracts, meaning I'm agreeing to sell the stock for $6 per share. I agreed for 2 contracts, which is 200 shares. So if expiration comes and it's under 6 or 6 even, I'll roll the position. If it's above, I'll just sell the stock for the $6 that I agreed to. That's still more than I bought it for, capturing dividends along the way, and I captured a credit from selling the covered call. So before we jump over to our Excel file, I am going to touch base on what we have coming up. So we have 48 contracts open option-wise. As you can see, 5/16, 2 weeks from now, we are very, very heavy in positions. I mean, very heavy. You can see 5/16, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 27, 31, 33. So 33 of the contracts are set to expire 5/16. That is going to be a busy week for us. I'll probably roll some of those positions next week just so I can capture a little bit of the premium that week rather than wait until the following. Next week we have 1, 3, 4, 5. We only have 5 contracts expiring this week. CLSK, I plan on rolling those. The covered call for Run, that's below the current price. It's going to be tough to roll that unless the market has a little bit of a down day, which would be fantastic. I love down days. It makes it easier to roll positions. Just personal opinion there. Yeah, so that's what we have going on for next week. We are going to jump into our Excel file so you can kind of see all that we did this week. We'll break down our running total, our dividends, and everything else. So give us a second. Okay, here's our Excel file. This makes it a little bit easier to read. So column A, the stock column, that is the ticker symbols that we played. As you can see, NFE, Wolf, and then another Wolf. There's two Wolves on there. It's not a typo. Those are two different companies. Then you see Riot, ASPN, NEO. You'll see a couple positions that you see all the time. If you're not new to this channel and you've been here for a while, you probably have seen FCEL, Riot, Iron, and Wolf WUFL. ULF and Riot on here, and Neo, pretty much every week. When I find a group I like, I play them, I maximize the cash I can get from them. So in column B, those are the credits we collected. NFE, New Fortress Energy, love that play, $5 strike, sold two of them, collected $110, $55 per contract. That's an awesome trade. $84 for WOLF, and then below that you'll see rolled positions. I rolled them out, collected another credit. Remember, when you roll the position, that's a credit on top of the credit you collected when you opened the position. That's not a deduction. That's a new credit. So if you opened NFE and collected $110, then you rolled it and collected another $50, that's $160 collected from your original investment. Scrolling down to our dividends, you see we have our ULTY, RDTE, YMAG, YMAX. We collected $48 from ULTY. Like I said, I did buy another 100 shares from them, so hopefully that 100 shares equates to $9 more each week. So next week I'm hoping to collect $57. RDTE, $2.78. I just don't have enough shares. That and YMAG, once I get even on, I probably will unload those two. YMAX, again, I'm pretty happy with YMAX. I'm pretty close to being even on that, and another $90 collected today. We're going to go over to our dividends tab so you can see a little bit better breakdown. But right there, $150 collected this week from dividends. You can see in column B there, DIV, that's the payout per share. ULTY, anytime that's above 9 cents, I do like that. YMAX, that's 17 cents a share. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So YMAX, I believe we were down like $1,500 total. If we scroll over here, we've collected $1,300. So I actually think I'm $1,700 down. We've collected $1,300. So I'm only about $400 down on YMAX. We'll have to check. We'll go back to the account before we close out this video. We've collected $181 on YMAG. And where was RDTE? Do I have that? Have I not been... I know, I thought I did. Well, oh, there we go. All right, so RDTE, we've collected $63. So $63 for RDTE and $181 for YMAG. We'll have to see when we get back there how much we are down by. Because if we're anywhere near, I definitely want to unload those positions. Get that credit back and just use it for actual selling options. As you can see, year to date, we've collected $2,671 in dividends. And that's not year to date. That's the last 15 weeks. I just started tracking for YouTube on January 20th. So from January 20th to current day, May 2nd, it's 15 weeks. We have collected $11,875 total. That breaks down to $791 per week, or $41,168 on the year. That's a pretty good year. I would definitely take that as a side income with this account size. So let's kind of look down at our running total. We haven't had a real big week like we did in March, where we had that $1,100 week, or in February $1,200. You really need big down weeks to make that kind of cash with this size account. The bigger the account, it's easier to do. But with this size account, the down weeks are better for us. I do think the week of the 16th will be a little bit bigger week just because of how many contracts there are, a little bit more to roll. That's $635 we collected this week. Not our least. The least is $618 the week of 4/7 through 4/10. But like I said, our goal is $550 a week. Once we hit that, doesn't really matter to me if we get anything past that. $550 a week covers all our bills if we ever needed to use the money. So I'm happy with the $635 week. Before we close out the video, we are going to go look at those yields from the high-yielding dividend funds. And I say it every video, selling options will outpace your dividend portfolio, I promise. And you get to diversify your capital a little bit more, a little bit less of a risk, in my opinion. I enjoy selling options better. So let's jump over to our Robinhood portfolio again to close out the video. Like I said, $633 collected this week, $11,875 over the last 15, and that's $791 per week. So awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's jump back. Okay, back in the account, like I said, this account's closing in on that 50K again. That'll be nice. We made quite a bit of money on the way down. So as the market rebounds to where it was, I expect us to shoot up into that 60,000 in the near future. You know, depending which way the market goes. If it goes back down again, we'll continuously collect our credits all the way down and all the way up. So let's scroll down and look at those high-yielding dividend funds. Let's see, YMAX. Where's YMAX? So we had collected $1,300 on that. Let's see where we're at. We are down $2,000. Okay, so we're down $700 on YMAX. Not bad. I mean, you know, we're just going to keep collecting that dividend, making our cash as the account grows. Let's look at ULTY. We are down $744. I think we've collected $400 in that. So we're only down about $300 here. YMAG, we've collected $181. We're down $373. Okay, so we're still down $180. Yeah, YMAG is just a dud here. Not a good $1,300 investment. But again, I added these dividend-paying funds just to kind of show people how you can outpace selling options, as well as kind of what happens when you put cash in these things. They erode, the price of the stock continues to drop, and no matter how high yield the dividend is, it doesn't close the gap on how much you're down. Excuse me, and RDTE, I think we collected $60 on this. We're down 130, so we're still down 50%. Yeah, so neither of those investments are really good. Now, this one is only a $355 investment, so, so a $500 investment because we're down $130. So $500 investment, so not a ton, but again, you know, that $500 could have sold 2 Wolf puts and collected $40 a month every month and had no overlying risk associated with it, rather than capturing, you know, 20-some bucks a month in credits. So that kind of closes out our video. We had another awesome week. The account will continue to grow. And like I said, our goal is to make a minimum of $550 every week. And our goal by the end of the year is to have this account around $70,000, $75,000. I think it's very doable. I think if we stick with it, we will be there. So I appreciate everyone. Tonight, I'm hoping the Golden State Warriors can close out the Houston Rockets from an NBA playoff perspective. I always got to talk about the playoffs when there's games. I was really disappointed in the outcome yesterday. As I said in the last video, I was hoping the Pistons would beat the Knicks. They lost, and I was really hoping Denver would close out the Los Angeles Clippers. They did not. And now we're looking at a Game 7. And oh boy, I don't get a good vibe for Denver right now. But on the flip side of that, the Rockets and the Warriors. My dad has the Rockets. I have the Warriors. I'm hoping Steph and Jimmy come to play today. I really don't want to go back for a Game 7 in Houston because I don't think Golden State can make it happen. I mean, I never bet against Steph. He's a beast, but the Houston Rockets are young, athletic, and they want it. Looking ahead to round 2, I think the Cavs are going to take the Pacers in 5, and I think the Celtics are going to take the Knicks in 5 from an Eastern Conference standpoint. So I think it's going to be the Cavs versus the Celtics. And the Celtics are a stacked roster coming off the NBA championship, but we are a complete team. So I don't think it's over yet for us. I think we can beat them. I'm hoping we can beat them. It would be nice if Brunson would give his 4 greatest performances against the Celtics and they somehow upset him, because I honestly think the Cavs can sweep the Knicks. I think the Celtics can too, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, always let me know where you're looking. And the Western Conference side, I'm honestly, like I said, I have the Denver Nuggets coming out of the West, but the Timberwolves looked amazing against the Lakers. And the Timberwolves are going to play the winner of Golden State and Houston, and I think they can easily beat that team as well. I think that's a 5-game series. So I think the Western Conference Finals is going to be Timberwolves and Nuggets. That's my projection. I'm really hoping we can get the Clippers out in Game 7. Nuggets got to come to play. And I know OKC is basically the Cleveland Cavaliers of the Western Conference with a complete roster. But, boy, I wouldn't want to have to come out of the West. I wouldn't want to play those guys. So I'm thinking the Western Conference Finals is the Timberwolves and Nuggets, and the Eastern Conference is the Celtics and the Cavs. And the Cavs beat the Celtics, and the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves. And the Cavs sweep the Nuggets. No, I don't think that'll happen, but that's what I'm hoping for. But, yep, like I said, another amazing week in the stock market. If you're somebody that's looking to sell options, create some capital, step away from the charts, step away from, blowing your accounts on high-risk trades, let me know. I have a $5. Let's work together. Let's step away from that mindset, and let's grow consistently. And I'll see you in the next one.